Okay, so we all know that teaching kids note-taking skills is very important, and I know it's a major part of a lot of people's classes, and programs like Avid and such are really big on showing kids how to take notes properly. But what I'm going to show you today is how to create an interactive note-taking form for kids that they can use on their laptops or in a one-to-one classroom environment to take notes digitally and save them into their personal folders. So what you're going to do is open just a regular Word document here. I've got a regular blank Word document. And what I usually like to do is change my page layout first thing. So on the top here where it says page layout, you're in your home tab here. You're going to want to go to your page layout tab and select margins and narrow margins, because this gives you more of the page to work with. All right. Once that's done, go ahead and click back on the home tab again, and you want to put in a box structure that looks like Cornell Notes or looks like dual-sided T-notes. So what you're going to do is go to the Insert tab, and you're going to select Table. All right. And you want to create 2 columns and probably about 6 to 8 rows. I usually like to go for about 7 rows because that gives me 1 row for a header and 6 more rows for taking the actual notes themselves. Okay. So once that's created, you have a nice table for yourself. All right, you want to go back to your Home tab. All right, and here you're going to select your font. I usually pick a basic one, and go ahead and create your font size for that. So in the upper left-hand corner, you always want kids to list the theme of whatever their notes are. All right. So that allows them to know right away what it is they're looking at. And then the right-hand side over here, you want to have their name, the date, and the subject, all of which they can fill in, and I'll show you how to use the Developer tab tool in a second to create an interactive version of that. Okay, and then down here, what you're going to do is you're going to have spaces for them to take their notes. Right. And usually, you can have, right, once they get used to taking notes, you can have them fill in the questions on the left-hand side. But for introductory level, usually it's a good idea for you to write the questions on the left-hand side so that at least they know what it is they're supposed to be looking for. So in this case, if our subject is, let's say our subject is the Great Depression. Okay. Then my first question is going to be, for my students, something like, why did so many investors purchase stocks on margin rather than paying cash? So one of the main causes of the Great Depression. Okay. And in this area, or this space over here, students would be able to fill in their answers. Now, what you want to make sure you do is you want to protect this document, because as students work with this document, you don't want them changing or messing with your original questions or your original formatting. So we're going to use the Developer tab in order to protect these areas and protect these spaces. If you don't have a Developer tab up on the top row here, you might want to watch the screencast that we had posted earlier on using the Developer tab or creating interactive forms. You can find that in the same web space area that you found this screencast on. All right, so we click on the Developer tab up here, and we can use our developer tools, for example, to put in a space where they can put their name, where they can put the date using the date picker, and the subject, right, using drop-down menus. All right, so I'll just go ahead and skip ahead a little bit here because I've already created a version of this form, all right, that has all of these features added in. All right, they've got a place for their name, they've got a place to choose their date, all right, and they can choose from whatever subject it is that they're taking notes on. All right. And I've also taken the time to go ahead and highlight in red all of the important vocabulary that students need to know. The way that you do that, very simply, is you just select the words that are important that you want them to know. Click on your Home tab, and you can choose to make those available in red so that they know that those are important vocabulary terms for them to know. All right. Then in the Notes area, you want to go ahead and give them a space. Again, in the Developer tab, so along the top ribbon, click on Developer, and you're going to give them a space to put their answers down. So right here under our Controls ribbon, this first check, or this first icon, the rich text icon, click that, and then students will be able to enter their text. Now once again, it's very important that if you want these form or these interactive features to remain in the document, you need to protect your document. Right? This will save it so that you are the only person that can do formatting within the document. Your students will be able to enter all the information only in the fields where you choose to let them enter information. So you go ahead and click Protect Document. Click your first option here, which is Restrict Formatting and Editing. Click the second option right here, which is Editing Restrictions. Click Filling in Forms. And again, click Yes, Start Enforcing Protection. All right. And once again, you have the option of selecting a password if you wish, but you don't have to. You can just leave it open because you are going to be the ultimate controller of where that document lives, so you don't really need to have a password, but you can put one if you want one. Okay, and then once it's done, once again, your students will be ready to enter in the information, all right, for the dates, all right, for their name, all right, for the subject, okay, and they can write their notes here. Okay. So once again, great way for you to create an interactive note-taking document for students so they can take notes and they can save them into their own computers.